Okay, so good morning everyone. Good morning students. So for today we're going to discuss chapter 6, accounting concepts and principles. And for today, before we start, so we should be able to identify the GAAP or the generally accepted accounting principles. Ayun, so sa higher year nyo, mas maiintindihan nyo siya, yung GAAP. So, siguro sa auditing theory. And then after that, we should be able to explain the various accounting principles and concepts. And then differentiate the difference of each concept and principles according to its importance in accounting. So, dapat alam natin yung mga concept and principles kasi parang ito yung mga rules na sinusunod din natin sa accounting. Yung mga, pwede rin natin siyang i-apply sa buhay natin, ganyan. Actually, ma-apply nyo siya. Siguro pag kunyari, accounting yung course mo, ma-apply mo talaga siya sa buhay. Ganun. Kasi magiging ganung tao kay mamaya i-discuss natin. Okay, no? So, accounting, being the language of the business, can effectively communicate with the use of its concept and principles. So, we have our own language sa accounting. And these are widely accepted sets of rules and standards that guide accountants in the application of accounting and preparation of financial statements. So, these are the so-called the GAAP or the generally accepted accounting principles. Okay. So yon, actually there are a number of accounting concepts and principles based on which we prepare our accounts. And then the GAAP laid on accepted assumptions and guidelines are commonly referred to as accounting concepts. So yon, before we proceed to accounting concept, review lang muna tayo about sa users of financial statements. Yun, syempre we have the lenders, the investors, management, the suppliers or creditors, the government, customers, employees, and the public. So yun. So we have also the limitations in using the financial statement. So company may use different methods of valuation, cost calculation, and recognizing profit. So every companies have their own ways on how to compute their cost and how they will recognize profit or the materiality of the variance, ganun. So later on, i-discuss pa natin yung mga materiality na yan. And then the balance sheet does not reflect the true worth of the company. So the balance sheet itself does not reflect. Kaya dapat i-review pa natin yung mga income statement nila, cash flow, para malaman natin talaga yung totoong performance ng isang company. Hindi lang yung balance sheet na kung makikita natin dun yung mga asset, liability, and then the equity. So yun nga, pag nag-business finance na kayo on your grade 12, ayan, so re-reviewin natin yung financial statements. Hindi lang siya balance sheet. So we have to consider the income statement as well as the cash flow, the shareholders' equity, ganun. And then the financial statement can only show partial information about the financial position of an enterprise instead of the whole picture. So, di ba, syempre, hindi naman lahat hindi lahat ng performance ng isang company nakikita natin sa financial statement. Kasi 'di ba, in the financial statement, we only consider those yung mga measurable na transactions or the business yung mga, 'di ba yung sa first part, yung definition ng accounting, nire-recognize lang natin kung ano yung mga business or economic transaction lang talaga. So hindi natin doon sinasama sa financial statement yung behavior ni manager or yung behavior ng CEO, ganun. Okay, so let's now discuss the accounting concept. Yan. So we have the business entity, money measurement, the going concern, historical cost, prudence or the conservatism, the materiality, objectivity, consistency, accruals, realization, uniformity, disclosure, and relevance. So actually, marami pang accounting concept, but ito yung pinaka-common, itong nasa list, ang pinaka-common na accounting concept na pwede natin i-discuss. Okay? So, sa business entity, ayan, ang meaning niya, the business and its owner are two separate existence entity. Any private and personal incomes and the expenses of the owner should not be treated as the incomes and expenses of the business. 'Di ba, dati na-mention ko na pag may sariling transaction si owner, na wala namang kinalaman para sa business, hindi dapat siya kasama sa transaction ni business. So, kahit sole proprietor ka pa or partnership, pag meron kang transaction na pang-personal, hindi mo dapat yun sinasama sa business. For example, lalo na pag nasa public accounting firm na kayo, merong, yung kunyari manonood ng sine, alam nyo yun, yung manonood ng sine, ano pa ba, yung kakain sa labas, ayan, yung mga resibo nun, hindi dapat yun sinasama sa resibo ng business mo. So ano nga, bakit kailangan hindi isama? Ako naman yung may-ari ng business, but hindi ko isasama? Syempre, hindi mo talaga mamamonitor kung ano ba yung performance ng business mo, kung sinasama mo yung personal transactions mo. So, ayan nga, kunyari, if in case na meron kayong sari-sari store, kung meron kayong sariling expenses na hindi naman involved yung business, wag nyo na lang isama kasi hindi nyo talaga mamamonitor yung performance ng business nyo. Nagigets nyo ba? So, kunyari, kahit sari-sari store lang yan, kunyari, kumuha ka ng biscuit, ganyan, i-record mo siya as, parang sarili mong, i-record mo siya, kunyari, kumuha ka ng biscuit doon, pang personal use mo, i-record mo pa rin siya as your sales, ganun. Tapos, parang kumbaga, i-accounts payable mo siya o iutang mo siya kahit hindi mo siya binayaran para makita mo kung ano yung totoong performance ng sari-sari store mo. Okay, nagigets nyo ba? Ganun siya. Kaya pag kumuha ka ng pera sa sari-sari store, i-record mo siya as withdrawal. Ganun. Para may effect talaga may effect yung transaction mo dun sa business. Ganun. Kunyari, kunyari, diba, may business ka, sari-sari store, tapos may sarili ka din namang sweldo. Kunyari, nagbayad ka ng kuryente sa bahay, hindi mo siya isasama doon sa business. So, pag sa mga mga last chapters natin, yung pag nagbabasa na tayo ng transactions, malalaman natin kung economic ba talaga siya, pang business transactions ba siya or hindi. Minsan kasi may sinasamang transaction like nag-hire ng employees, hindi rin siya sinasa nung kalituhan or may ganung pangpagulo sa mga solving problems. So yun, dapat ihiwalay yung transaction ni owner kay business as long as hindi affected si business. And kung kukuha kayo kay sari-sari store, i-record nyo siya as withdrawal ng capital, ganun. Okay. Later on naman, i-discuss na din naman natin siya kung paano natin siya i-record. So, for example, insurance premiums for the owner's house should be excluded from the expense of the business. So, yun nga, since insurance naman siya ng bahay mo, hindi mo dapat siya sinasali sa expense ng business. Okay? And then, the owner's property should not be included of the business. So, yun nga, yung sarili mong bahay, hindi mo dapat siya maglagay ka ng renta. Parang mag-renta ka sa sarili mong bahay. Ganun. Kasi syempre, hindi naman yan pagmamayari ni business. Okay? Any payments for the owner's purchase drawings or and reduce the owner kayo, kumuha ka doon ng parang kumupit ka doon ng pera pangbayad ng emergencies, ganyan, i-record mo siya as withdrawal. Or, ayun nga, para ma-reduce yung capital, hindi mo siya ilalagay as expense ni business. Yan. So, magiging drawings mo siya or withdrawals. Okay? So, yun, di ba, we have the money measurement. So, dito, di ba, na-discuss natin sa first chapter yung accounting, yung definition ng accounting. Yan, dapat meron tayong money measurement. So, ang denomination na ginagamit natin sa Philippines ay yung pesos. Tapos, aside from that, meron din tayong mga types of cost na kino-consider. So, meaning all transactions of the business are recorded in terms of money. Yan, syempre hindi mo pwedeng i-record yan by percentage or ratio. Dapat naka-peso sign or depende sa denomination ng isang country. So, sa Philippines, gagamitin natin yung peso sign. So, it provides a common unit of measurement. So, yon parang naalala ko may mga memes dati na kumakalat sa Facebook na yung parang about sa nag-break up tapos may pinakita yung boyfriend at girlfriend ng isang transactions, like yung may depreciation tapos naka-percentage. So, mali yun. Huwag yung gagayahin yun. Dapat naka-peso sign. Hindi pwedeng percentage yung transaction na i-record natin sa mga journal entries. So, ayan, it provides a common unit of measurement. Yan. So, pag peso sign, yung simula ng transaction or journal entries mo, dapat at the end, peso sign din yun. Kasi malilito ka kung gagamit ka ng dollars. Kung may dollars sa transaction, i-convert mo siya sa peso sign. Examples, market condition, technological changes, and efficiency of the management would not be disclosed in the accounts. Yan, since dapat measurable yung natin, yung transactions natin, yun lang din yung i-record natin. So, kung may pagbabago sa efficiency ni management, yung treatment ni management, hindi natin i-record yan. Or nagbago ang economy, hindi natin i-record yun. So, going concern, ayan. So, dito sa going concern, the business will continue in operational existence for the foreseeable future. So, financial statement should be prepared on a going concern basis unless management either intends to liquidate the enterprise or to cease trading or has no realistic alternative but to do so. So, yun nga, as long as nag-i-exist si business, gagawa tayo ng financial statement. Unless magkasundo-sundo ang management, top management, ang owner na i-liquidate or tapusin yung business. Doon lang tayo magi-stop ng paggawa ng financial statements. So, kahit tamarin ka, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin ayaw mong gumawa ng financial statement because it is required. So, dapat every year meron kang financial statements, depende sa kalendaryo ng business mo. Yun. So, habang nabubuhay si business, dapat gagawa ka ng financial statements. Yan. So, dito, we assume din na nagpapatuloy yung business. We always assume na magpapatuloy yung business unless otherwise na stated na bankrupt na siya, wala nang panlunas sa pagkalugi ng business. As in, i-liquidate na siya, i-distribute na yung mga properties sa mga owners, as in, the end na, saka tayo titigil paggawa ng financial statement. So, as long as kahit na bankrupt yan, at meron pa tayong nakikitang alternative course of action na para maayos yan, gagawa tayo ng financial statements. So, for example, possible losses from the closure of business will not be anticipated in the accounts. Prepayments, depreciation, provision may be carried forward in the expectation of proper matching against the revenues of future periods. So, Later on, ipapaliwanag natin kung paano itong depreciation. So, pag siguro naman familiar na sa inyo, kunyari, kung naririnig nyo na itong depreciation, ito yung kasi parang merong lifespan yung isang equipment. For example, ano bang equipment? Ngari mga machines. Ayan, 5 years yung niyan, yung life niyan. So every year dine-depreciate natin siya. Parang kumbaga bumababa ang value. Sa accounting, lahat ng bagay maliban sa lupa, sa paintings, ayan, bumababa yung niyan, bumababa yung value niyan. Nababawasan yung value nila from time to time. So may mga yan, may mga years of meron silang years of life, parang ganon. So for pag machines, mga 5 years yan siguro. Or sa cellphone nga 2 years lang 2 years lang yung buhay niyan. So i-depreciate natin siya kada taon. Bali parang after 2 years, yung phone mo, kahit gumagana pa yan, wala nang value yan para sa business. So, sa mga last chapters natin, kukumputin natin kung paano ba yan. Basta ganun yung depreciation. Okay? So, ang na-appreciate lang, kumbaga yung tumataas lang yung value or nagme-maintain lang yung value ay yung mga land. Basta yung lupa lang, pero yung bahay hindi, nade-depreciate din ng bahay, nababawasan din yung value ng bahay. Land lang tsaka arts. Yun alalahanin nyo yun kung ano yung mga bagay na hindi nade-depreciate. Land tsaka arts, ganun. So, fixed assets are recorded at historical cost. So, normally, yung mga fixed assets or yung non-current assets, ito yung mga nade-depreciate, dini-depreciate kasi ang buhay nito lagpas ng 5 years. Di ba, kino-consider natin as non-current kapag lumagpas na ng isang taon, yung isang machine o property or equipment. So, normally, pag fixed asset, non-current asset, nire-record natin siya at historical cost. Historical cost, meaning, ito yung presyo kung kailan mo siya binili. For example, bumili ka ng sasakyan. 2019, ganito yung presyo niya, kaya 1,000,000. Tapos, next year, nung tinignan mo siya sa market, 900,000 na lang siya. So, ang i-record pa rin natin, yung kung kailan natin siya binili, yung 1,000,000. Saka natin siya i-depreciate sa financial statements natin. So, kahit magbago pa yung presyo ng sasakyan kada taon, hindi yun yung i-record mo. Ang i-record mo, yung presyo na kung kailan mo siya binili. Okay? Ayun yung tinatawag na historical cost. Makinig kayong mabuti kasi ayan yung mga bagay na i-consider natin pag gumawa na tayo ng journal entries. So makinig kayo kasi talaga I swear na medyo makukulture siya kayo. So pag sinabi natin historical cost, assets should be shown on the balance sheet at the cost of purchase instead of the current value. Okay? So yun nga kung kailan natin siya binili instead na kung ano yung current value niya ngayon. So yun, kunyari nasa problem natin, anong i-record natin? Kunyari, bumili tayo ng sasakyan during 2019, tapos during 2019, ang presyo ng sasakyan na yun ay 1,000,000. Ayun yung binayaran natin, ayun yung hinuhulog-hulugan natin, 1,000,000. And then, for this year, bumaba yung presyo niya, 2020, naging 900,000 siya. So anong i-record natin? Siyempre yung 2019 na 1,000,000 kung kailan natin siya totoong binili, kung ano yung binayaran natin. Okay? Saka natin siya i-depreciate sa ating financial statement. Basta yun yung concept ng depreciation. For example, the cost of fixed asset is recorded at the date of the acquisition cost. Yan, yung kung kailan mo siya na-acquire. Okay, the acquisition cost includes all the expenditure made to prepare the asset for its intended use. So, yun nga, medyo pag sa higher year, marami pa tayo i-consider, pero basic lang tayo ngayon. Kasi maaring someday pag yun nga sa mga higher accounting, pag nag-compute tayo ng mga acquisition cost, i-consider pa kasi natin yung mga installment, yung mga delivery fee, yung mga service fee na kung na sa pag-acquire mo ng na yun, ng equipment na yun. Pero for now, dahil basic pa lang tayo, lang yung mga mauunting bagay lang yung i-discuss natin. So the acquisition cost includes all the expenditure made to prepare the assets for its intended use. So yun nga, includes all expenditure. So, hindi lang talaga yung presyo ng sasakyan mismo. Pwede natin i-consider yung mga service fee, bank fees, yung delivery fee, ayan. I-consider natin yon as parang, para mabuo natin itong acquisition cost. So, it included the invoice price of the asset, yan, yung mga freight charges, yung mga delivery fee to, yung mga freight, ayan. Alalahanin nyo din to, freight, ayan, yung mga delivery shipping fee, ganyan. Insurance, and then the installation cost. Kung meron, yan. Kung wala namang na-mention, okay lang, di masaya ang buhay natin, hindi natin kailangang i-consider. And kunyari, yung invoice price lang yung nalagay. So, kung wala namang na-mention na freight charges, insurance, installation cost, or anything, ito lang yung i-consider natin invoice price of asset. Okay? So, yun, alalahanin nyo siya ha, kasi mamaya, pag binigyan kayo ng price, tapos may nakalagay na free charges, insurance, installation cost, hindi niyo sinama sa computation. Okay? Yan, lagi tayo, basta pag-accounting, lagi tayong nag-historical cost. Yan, kaya mag-ingat din kayo sa mga accountant kasi magaling yung maghalungkat ng history. Okay? So we have here the prudence or conservatism. So yun nga, conservative ang mga accountant. Kumbaga, we always assume loss rather than the profit. Lagi nating ina-anticipate yung loss kaysa sa profit. Hindi tayo nag-assume ng mga benefits, hindi tayo nag-assume ng mga advantages. Lagi tayong loss. Yan, lagi tayo, ewan ko, basta ganun pag accountant ka, ganun eh. Yung parang lagi mong tinitignan yung mga cost. Yan, when we say conservatism or prudence, revenues and profit are not anticipated. Ayan, only realized profits with reasonable certainty are recognized in the profit and loss account. So yun, ito yung quote na sinasabi na anticipate loss rather than profit. Okay? So pag bilang accountant, mas tinitignan natin yung loss, yung gagastusin natin rather than kung ano yung makukuha natin. Okay, ewan ko kung bakit madalas ganun talaga pag pag accountant. Hindi natin tinitignan yung profit, yung kung ano yung loss lagi. Kasi conservative tayo. So nire-realize lang natin yung profit pag stated na. Pag na-realize na natin. Meaning, pag na-realize, natanggap mo na yung cash. Diba minsan merong mangungutang kunyari merong mga accounts receivable, ganyan. May mga, ma-receive mo pag na-receive mo na yung cash, saka natin i-realize. Ganun. So, however, provision is made for all known expenses and losses, whether the amount is known for certain or just an estimation. So, normally, to din to parang sa accrual, di ba, pag magbabayad tayo ng renta. Ewan ko kung, di ba, syempre, pag accountant, nagbabudget din tayo. Kunyari yung renta natin for the year, nilalagay na natin siya agad sa financial statements. Ayan. Tapos, saka natin, kunyari, pag nabayaran na natin, na kagamit na natin, saka natin i-reverse or ina-adjust. Or, yun nga, meron tayong journal entries na kabangga din yung account na yun. Pero later on, i-discuss natin siya. Basta pag accountant, ayun, di natin ina-anticipate yung profits. Lagi tayong loss. Kasi pag ina-anticipate natin yung loss, gagawa tayo ng ways, makakapag-recommend tayo sa management kung ano ba yung dapat nilang gawin, ano ba yung mga course of actions na pwede nating i-recommend sa kanila para maiwasan itong loss. Yan. Kasi pag profit tayo, naging confident tayo na ganito yung magiging profit natin for this year, hindi na tayo gagawa ng paraan, di ba? Parang, okay, malaki naman pala yung profit for this year. Okay lang yan. Ganun. Hindi na tayo kikilos, hindi na tayo mag-i-improve. So, lagi tayong loss. So, this treatment minimizes the reported profits and the valuation of asset. So, for example, stock valuation sticks to the rule of the lower of cost and net realizable value. So, the provision of doubtful debts should be made. So, yun nga, di ba, may mga accounts receivable tayo. When we say accounts receivable, ito yung term na, kunyari may nangutang sa'yo, ayan, may accounts receivable ka kay Pedro, ganyan. Kuya na nangutang si Pedro sa'yo, nagpahiram ka ng pera sa kanya, meron kang accounts receivable sa kanya. Ganun, dapat meron kang matanggap, kaya nga, receivable. Ganun siya. So, hindi lahat ng accounts receivable ina-assume natin na makukuha natin ulit. Di ba ganun sa utang, hindi naman talaga totally lahat ng pinautang natin, matatanggap natin ng buong buo. So, kaya meron tayong doubtful accounts, doubtful debts, yan, allowance for doubtful accounts, mga ganun. Kasi meron tayong percentage, kunyari 10% na pinautang mo, hindi mo ba re-receive? Ganun. So, meron tayong allowance na para doon na itong 10% siguro ng accounts receivable natin, hindi natin marireceive. Ganyan. So, depende din yan sa business kung ilang percentage yung i-assume nila. Pero, standard meron ganun na 10%. So, ganun pag accountant. So, pag nagpautang ka, siguro 10% nito hindi na babalik sa atin. Ayun agad yung ina-assume natin na hindi agad babalik sa atin yung pinautang natin. Para siguro hindi tayo masaktan, ganun. So, meron tayong allowance for doubtful accounts. Then, pag binayaran naman ng buo yun ng ng pinautang mo, then better. So, i-reverse lang natin. Hello? Hindi na ba ako nakamute? Okay, so fixed asset must be depreciated over the useful economic life. So, ayun na, dinidepreciate natin yung asset. Nawala ba ako? Okay. So, next, the materiality. Ayan. So, materiality meaning immaterial amounts may be aggregated with the amounts of a similar nature or function and need not be presented separately. So, materiality depends on the size and feature of the item. May na ba? Okay, wait lang. Ayun, okay. Okay na ba? Ayun, sige, ulitin natin. Okay. So when we say materiality, immaterial amounts may be aggregated with the amounts of a similar nature or function and need not be presented separately. Materiality depends on the size and nature of the item. So when we say materiality, ito yung ito yung parang halaga ng isang bagay kung ire-record pa ba natin. So for example, nagbabalance na tayo. Tapos may nawawalang piso. Ayan. Madalas yan, di ba? Kung naririnig nyo, laging may nawawalang piso, kaya hindi nagbabalanse. So, in accounting, in a corporate world, pag magwo-work na kayo, pag may nawawalang piso, hindi na natin hinahanap yan. Hindi na namin hinahanap yan, yung nawawalang piso na yan. Unlike nung pag nag-aaral kayo, hindi kayo patutulugin ng piso na yan. Pag hindi yan nag-balance at may nagkukulang na piso, uulitin nyo sa umpisa kasi kailangan mag-balance. Ganon pag nag-aaral kayo. So, yun. Pag sa materiality yan, pag may pisong nawawala, may 10 pisong nawawala, hindi na namin hinahanap yan. Pero depende yan sa materiality or threshold na tinatawag ng isang company. So, kunyari, sa isang kliyente na to, ang threshold nila 50 pesos. Yan. Kung may nawawalang 49 pesos at hindi nyo na balanse, hindi nyo nahahanapin yun. Kumbaga, forgiven na yon ng isang company. So, ginagawa yun pag sa corporate world, pag hindi kayo nagbabalanse. Pero pag habang nag-aaral pa kayo, yung nawawalang piso na yan, nahahanapin nyo yan. Okay? So, madalas yan, ayan ang magiging kaaway nyo ngayon, yung pagbabalanse. Pag gumawa na kayo ng financial statement. So, hahanapin nyo yung nawawalang piso. Okay, so saan pa ba yung may mga materiality and yung mga immateriality na yan? So for example, depende rin kasi yan sa status ng isang tao kung ire-record kasi meron ding time sa taxation. Kunyari pag may niregalo si Mr. kay Mrs. Pag immaterial naman siya, hindi yun taxable. Pero pag naging material siya, kunyari ang sweldo lang naman ni Mr. ay 30,000 tapos lumagpas dun sa threshold na sinasabi yung niregalo niya kay Mrs. Ano yun, itatax yan, magkakaroon siya ng tax, yan. So, parang sa mga sa taxation yan, ipapaliwanag naman yan kung bakit. Ganun. Basta yung immateriality, ayan yung i-realize lang natin kung material ba yung isang bagay. Okay? Yan, kung i-record natin or hindi siya i-record. Yan, kumbaga pag sinabi nating material, may halaga siya at may malaki siyang effect sa financial statement na kailangan nating i-review ulit or balikan. So, when we say naman objectivity, ang meaning nito, the accounting information should be free from bias and capable of independent verification. The information should be based upon the verifiable evidence such as invoices or contracts. Yan. So, yan, dapat free from bias yung opinions ng nagbe-verify. Ayan. Tapos, isa sa mga ang pwede nating pagbasihan ng ating transactions sa yung mga invoices, contracts, yan. Basta mga resibo lagi para ma-avoid natin yung ma-avoid natin yung mga bias. So yun, isa sa mga evidence natin lagi ang mga resibo. Kaya as accountant, madalas nagtatabi tayo ng resibo. Ganun. Kasi minsan doon din natin nakikita yung time. Kaya mahalaga din siya kung kailan mo siya binili, nandun din sa resibo eh. Yun parang kumbaga evidence mo din siya. Yan, basta pag objectivity naman, alalahanin nyo lang, dapat free from bias. Yan, and capable of independent verification. So for example, the recognition of revenue should be based on verifiable evidence such as delivery of goods or the issue of invoices. Pag walang inisyong invoices, hindi natin siya i-record kasi wala naman tayong evidence. Kaya 'di ba pag kapag nabili tayo, make sure na kukuha tayo ng resibo. Kasi pag yan walang resibo, walang i-record na revenue or sales ang isang business. So, makakatampo sila sa tax. Okay? Nagigets nyo ba? So, as long as wala silang resibo, ayan, hindi sila nag-release ng resibo sa'yo, hindi nila i-record yun as sales. For sure, makakatakbo sila sa tax. Yan. Mababawasan yung tax na babayaran nila. So, yan. Ganyan yung ginagawa ng ibang business. So, consistency. Yan. Sino bang ayaw ng consistency? Dapat bilang accountant, consistent din tayo. So, when we say consistency, companies should choose the most suitable accounting methods and treatments and consistently apply them in every period. So, changes are permitted only when the new method is considered better and can reflect the true and fair view of the financial position of the company. The change and its effects on profits should be disclosed in the financial statement. So, meron tayong mga accounting methods na ginagamit. So, for example, sa depreciation, meron tayong straight line method na ginagamit. Yan. Later on, i-discuss naman natin pag nagkaroon ng mga depreciation. So, yun, may mga methods or treatments yan, na dapat sinusunod sa isang company. Yan. Hindi dapat iba-ibang methods kasi magbabago din yung value. So hindi na siya magiging comprehensive yung isang financial statement, hindi na rin siya magiging comparable or comparative ganon. Ayan. So babaguhin na natin yung mga methods na ginagamit natin. Pag na-prove natin itong bagong treatments na to at accounting methods na to ay better at makakapag-reflect ng totoong katayuan or stability ng isang business. Yun, saka lang natin siya i-report na may bago tayong method. So, sinasama din to sa financial statements pag nagsasubmit tayo sa BIR kung ano ba yung mga method na ginagamit natin. So, yun. Pag nagbago siya, kailangan mong i-prove kung bakit nagbago kayo ng method. So, normally naman, may mga naman tayo laws and regulations na sinusunod na sa accounting pag sa paggawa ng financial statement. So, papasok din yung GAAP ng Philippines, ganyan. Basta meron naman tayong sinusunod na rules and regulations. May sarili tayong libro for our accounting methods na sinusunod. Ayan. So, for example, isa din yung babaguhin natin yung lifespan ng isang equipment. Kunyari siguro yung equipment dati 10 years yung lifespan. Tapos ngayon sa bagong laws and regulations ng Philippines, ginawa na siyang 5 years. So ayun yung susundin natin. Okay? So meron naman tayong libro for that. Hindi tayo basta mag-iimbento lang ng sarili nating method or treatments. Okay? Dapat consistent yun. Kung ano yung ginamit mong method sa una, yun din yung gagamitin mo sa uli. Hindi ka pwedeng pabago-bago. Hindi pwedeng iba-iba yung method na ginagamit mo kada taon. So, better na kung ano yung nasimulan mong method, yun na yun. So, for example, if a company adopts straight line method and should not be changed to adopt reducing balance method in other period. So, kung straight line method tayo sa depreciation, di dapat tayo gumagawa pa ng hindi natin pwedeng gamitin ng reducing balance method sa other period. So, kung nag-straight line method tayo sa umpisa, straight line method tayo hanggang dulo, hanggat hindi mo na-prove na yung bagong method ay better at makakapag-labas ng totoong financial position ng isang company. So, if a company adopts weight average method as stock valuation and should not be changed to other method. Yan. For example, yung mga FIFO or yung first in, first out method. So, itong weight average method, tsaka itong mga FIFO na to, ito yung sa mga inventory. Ayan. Pag sinabi natin first in, first out sa inventory, kung ano yung una mong nilagay sa storage, ayun yung una mong kukunin. Ayan. Kaya first in, first out. So, meron din tayong last in, first out yung tinatawag na LIFO. Pag sinabi natin, ang example ng LIFO, siguro yung sa mga bakery, di ba? Yung nilalagay sa ref na cake. So, alanganin namang ang kunin mo doon yung pinakadulo kasi syempre, uurahin mo nang kunin yung nasa unahan kasi mahihirapan kang kunin yung nasa dulo. So, yun din yung example ng LIFO. Last in, first out. Yan. So, we have the accruals and the matching. So, yun. Sa mga huling chapters natin, mas maintindihan nyo itong mga accruals na to. Yan. Meaning, revenues are recognized when they are earned, but not when cash is received. Expenses are recognized as they are incurred, but when cash is paid, but not when cash is paid. The net income for the period is determined by subtracting expenses incurred for the revenues earned. So, later on, mas ipapaliwanag ko na lang siya. Pero ito yung, pag sinabi nating accruals, ayan, meron tayong mga expenses na binabayaran na natin agad in advance. Yan, for example, mga rent expense, binabayaran natin siya agad. Di ba, minsan nag-advance tayo ng for 3 months, binabayaran natin agad yun. So, hindi pa natin siya i-record as expenses hanggat hindi natin nagagamit. So, normally, itong mga binayaran natin in advance na expenses, lumalabas sa asset natin. Yan, mga prepaid rent, prepaid expenses. So, sa expenses pang nag-accrue tayo, pag binayaran natin, hindi natin siya i-recognize as expenses hanggat hindi natin nagagamit. Okay? Yun yung example niyan. Pero later on, mas papaliwanag natin. Pero ganun yung concept ng accruals. So, for example, expenses incurred but not yet paid in the current period, but should be treated as accrual or accrued expenses under current liabilities. Yan. Yan. Meron din namang cases na meron na tayong ginagamit agad na expenses pero babayaran pa natin for the end of the year. Yan. Meron din ganung klase ng accrual. Yan. Expenses incurred in the following period but paid for in advance should be treated as prepayment expenses under current asset. Yan. So, later on, pag nag-accounting equation na tayo. Yan, depreciation should be charged as part of the cost of a fixed asset consumed during the period of use. Okay, problems in the recognition of expenses. Normally, expenses represent resources consumed during the current period. Some costs may benefit several accounting periods. For example, development expenditure, depreciation on fixed assets. So, since, di ba, yung isang equipment, ang life niya, 5 taon. So, kung ano lang yung isang taon, di ba, every year tayong gumagawa ng financial statements. So, isang taon lang naman yung i-record natin. Yan, as expenses nung fixed asset na yun. So, the recognition criteria for expenses, yan, association between cause and effect. Expenses are recognized on the basis of the direct association between the expenses incurred on the basis of a direct association between expenses incurred and revenue. Yan, for example, sales commission should be accounted for in the period when the products are sold, not when they are paid. Yan. Next time ko nagpapaliwanag yun, yung accruals. Yan, sa realization, ito yung time na kung kailan natin dapat i-realize yung expenses or yung income. Yan, revenue should be recognized when the major economic activities have been completed. Yan, kahit bayad pa yan ni customer in advance, hindi natin siya i-record as revenue hanggat hindi natin na-perform yung services na ginagawa natin. Same with the sales or yung products. Kahit binayaran na yan ni customer in advance, hindi natin i-record yan as sales hanggat hindi nakukuha ni customer. So, may mga ganong pagkakataon. So, for example, yan, sa mga Lazada, di ba? Minsan nagbabayad na tayo through GCash, nagbabayad na agad tayo ng through credit card or debit card, hindi yun nire-record ni business as their sales hangga't hindi nare-receive ni customer yung product na yun. Okay, na-gets ba? Ganun. So, kahit binayaran pa yan ni customer ngayon, ano yan, hindi mo yan i-record as, hindi mo siya i-realize. Yan. Pwede natin siyang i-record, pero hindi yan i-realize ni as sales or revenue. Yan. So, recognition of revenue, the realization concept develops rules for the recognition of revenue. So, the concept provides that revenue are recognized when it is earned. Meaning, pag sinabing earned, hindi yun yung cash na na-receive mo, kundi na-perform mo na yung sales or yung pagbebenta or yung services. Yan. Not when money is received. Okay? Yan. So, nagigets ba? Hindi sa lahat ng oras, pag naka-receive ka ng cash, i-realize mo yung sales. So, i-realize lang natin yung sales pag na-perform na natin. Kasi conservative ang mga accountant. Yan, kasi maaaring nagbayad si customer, tapos ni-recognize natin siya as sales agad, tapos nagkaroon ng fortuitous events or mga hindi inaasahang pagkakataon. Nagkaroon ng emergency si customer, tapos hindi na natin na-perform yung services natin or yung products, or hindi natin na-deliver yung products, i-withdraw or kukunin ulit ni customer yung bayad. So, kaya sa accounting, nire-record lang natin or nire-realize lang natin yung sales at yung revenue kapag na-perform na natin. Okay? So, a receipt in advance for the supply of goods should be treated as prepaid income under current liabilities. Yan. So, yun nga, yung mga nabayaran na sa atin ni customer, tapos hindi natin na-perform. Yan, normally, nakalagay lang siya sa current liabilities. So, pag na-perform na natin, saka na siya dediretso kay income or sales. So, later on, yan, pag nag-journal entries na tayo, mas maiintindihan natin siya. Pero, hopefully, dapat ngayon pa lang medyo na-figure out nyo na. Okay? So, since revenue is the principal component of the measurement of profit, the timing of its recognition has a direct effect on the profit. Yun. So, yun nga, not all the time na pag na-receive natin yung cash, again, hindi natin siya i-realize. Saka lang natin siya i-realize as part of our profit or revenue or income kapag na-perform na natin yun. Okay, let me know kung di nyo nagigets ha, or medyo naguguluhan kayo. So, when we say disclosure, your financial statements should be prepared to reflect a true and fair view of the financial state, position, and performance of the enterprise. All material and relevant information must be disclosed in the financial statement. So, yun nga, yung material and mga relevant information, nilalagay natin siya sa financial statement. So, hindi lang actually sa financial statement, hindi lang naman yung balance sheet, income statement, or changes in shareholders equity, yung cash flow, yung nakalagay sa financial statement. Meron din tayong mga notes doon na nilalagay. So, anything na nangyari na material and relevant information sa isang company, nilalagay din natin siya. So, when we say material, ito yung mga mahalagang amounts na maaring maka-affect or may effect talaga sa financial statements. Okay? Yung pakiramdam mong may effect, pero normally binibigyan naman ng percentage yan ng isang company. Kaya 5% ng ganito, considered as material na yon, ganun. Yan, basta when we say material, may effect sa financial statements. Yan, yung uniformity, actually, parang katulad din to ng consistency. So, different companies within the same industry should adopt same accounting methods and treatments for like transactions. So, pag same naman, kaya pag manufacturing, ayan, di ba yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, pag manufacturing, normally, halos same lang din sila ng mga accounting titles, accounting methods, or treatments na ginagamit. Okay? So, the practice enables intercompany comparison of their financial position. So, meron naman tayong rules and regulations or laws na sinusunod sa Philippines in terms of creating or doing the financial statements. Meron talaga tayong sinusunod para maging fair, comparative at comprehensive yung financial statements natin. Kasi, di ba dapat kino-compare din natin siya sa ibang company na with same industry para malaman natin kung nagpa-perform ba ng maayos yung company. Okay? Nagigets ba? So, yun nga, kailangan uniform. Relevance. Yan, when we say relevance, financial statements should be prepared to meet the objectives of their users. Relevant information which can satisfy the needs of the most user is selected and recorded in the financial statement. So, dapat yung information na ini-include natin sa financial statement, dapat may relevance. Dapat relevant yung information na yun. Okay, so that's all for today. Yun, for the accruals and realization, mas iintindihan natin siya on our next chapters. Pag nag-journal entries na tayo, mas maiintindihan nyo siya. Okay? So, yun nga, medyo mahirap pag online. Ayun. So, pero gagawin natin yung best natin para mas maintindihan nyo. Okay, any question, guys? Nagets nyo ba? Yung accounting concept natin. So, mahalagang mahalagang part 2 ng accounting kasi dito natin mas maiintindihan yung mga journal entries pag naintindihan natin tong chapter na to. Okay? Any question, guys, bago tayo mag-proceed sa reporting?
Yung ano po, ma'am, yung definition ng disclosure.
Definition ng disclosure. Ayan, sige. Okay. So, financial statements should be prepared to reflect a true and fair view of the financial position and performance of the enterprise. All material and relevant information must be disclosed in the financial statement. So, when we say disclosure, meron tayong mga bagay na, 'di ba, aside kasi from financial statements like yung balance sheet, yung income statement, changes in shareholders' equity. Ayan. Aside from that, meron pa kasi tayong notes na ini-include sa financial statements. So dito sa disclosure na to, nakikita natin yung kumbaga dinidisclose natin yung mga material or relevant information. Maaaring hindi maganda yung effect sa business or maganda yung effect sa business, dinidisclose natin. Yan. For example, merong nag-quit na isang stockholder, so maaring nagbenta siya ng shareholders, ng shares niya or stocks niya. May mga malalaking galaw kasi yun. Maaring magbabago yung mga shares ni mga portions ni shareholders. So may mga ganong informations na ini-include. Ayun, dapat dinidisclose talaga natin lahat ng bagay na material at relevant kahit hindi maganda yung nangyari. Yung ganon. Kasi para mabasa din ni investor. Mabasa siya ng CEO kung nasa tamang kalagayan ba si business. So, yun nga, the world itself yung disclosure, yung dinidisclose natin. Sinishare natin yung mga material at relevant na may effect talaga sa business. Okay, any question? Bago tayo mag-proceed sa pero magbe-break pa naman tayo. Yan, basta pag sinabing disclosure, yun nga, all material and relevant information must be disclosed in the financial statements. Kahit pangit pa yan yung information or ikasisira ng isang business. Kasi sa accounting and as accountant, kahit pangit pa yung kalagayan ni business, kailangan nating i-share yung information na yun for the sake lang din ng mga users natin, yung mga users of information. So yun nga, unethical pag tinatago natin yung baho ng isang company. Yan. Kasi as accountant, independent kasi dapat tayo. Ganun. So mas better na i-disclose natin kahit pangit pa yung information. Pero dapat mag-suggest tayo ng mga recommendations, mag-suggest tayo ng mga course of actions. Paano natin maaayos to? Ayan. So, kunyari, example niya, pag nag-report ka din sa shareholders, bumaba po ng 20% yung sales natin for this month or for this year. So, pero ito yung gagawin natin, ganyan. Yan, i-state mo yan isa-isa. So, ganun na siya. Dinidisclose natin kahit yung mga pangit na nangyari sa company na may effect, may direct effect sa financial statements. Okay, any question?